This is Jonathan.
Jonathan, how you doing?
Hey, John. How you doing, man?
Hi. Hey. What's up?
Yeah, so I have a few questions for you. The first one would be, do you think that anarcho-syndicalism could be a stepping stone toward anarcho-primitivism? Because, the typical argument is that you would have to decommission industry, take control of industry, decommission it, and then people would have to stop having children and so on. So do you think that could be a possible scenario where...
I think that's worth discussing. I've talked to syndicalists there in Spain, and we really, we had a lot in common, and there was a lot of listening on both sides. And I have heard that argument. I've heard it made here in Eugene, in fact, that's the only path. You have to pass through that stage, if you will. I think there's something to that. I don't know. I think it's definitely worth... I think the question, though, is where does the primitivism come in, or how does it come in? How it really hasn't yet been a part of the syndicalist outlook, but I'm not... it could be, and I think, as you imply, it already is on the part of some people. So we don't know how things are going to best transpire or more fruitfully transpire. So, I think that's something of an open question. Do you feel like it's something that should be pursued?
Yeah, I mean, I see it as sort of the only possibility because I guess it's sort of a gradualist approach where people become more aware of their own problems, and and sort of like you see another goal. But anyway, I have another question, maybe.
Sure.
I can ask you about that. You have an essay that's called it's about art. I forget what the name of it is.
The Case Against Art.
You talk about creation. Right. It's the Case Against Art. Very thought-provoking. But you say that talk about creation in order to subdue the torment of perception, right? And so I would like to ask you, like, what types of creation do you think don't have that purpose?
Don't have that torment, you mean? Or don't have that motivation?
Like
well, I mean,
like which types of creation do you think don't have the purpose of subduing the torment of perception?
Well, first of all, I'm a writer, so I do that. I mean, I'm not condemning people who do art any more than I am condemning people who write. That was a deliberately provocative title, as you may have seen. I mean, it may be obvious, but I think perhaps, and this is speculation, it's certainly speculation, but if representation itself is a substitute or a compensation or a way of consoling ourselves, which we didn't need for 2 million years, then, in a way, all of it is. And we're substituting something else that's allowed, that's permitted, but, it doesn't really, possibly anyway, you could say it doesn't really make up for what was left behind when we turn to representing the world instead of directly perceiving it. I mean, that's kind of a crude way to put it, but something like that.
I guess my guess would be that we would have to draw the line that certain kinds of creation maybe are more alienating than others. Do you think that would be the case?
I think so, sure. And there are different styles and different methods, to try to do the same thing. That's why we have some methods. I mean, we're all trying in different ways to proceed to do something, even if we do say they're alienated methods. Well, that's what we have. I mean, this techno transmission certainly included. We're all part of this whole thing.
Anyway, and one last quick question, if you don't mind. It's kind of a more personal question. Did your use of psychedelics contribute to your primitivist perspective?
I never thought of that. I don't know. The only way I looked at that was it was just a time when you felt like doing something like that, when you felt like really opening up to a world that seemed to be changing, and so it really felt good to be even more open by whatever it was, LSD or something like that. And yeah, I don't know. I sort of doubt it did. I sort of, it was quite a bit later than I started what I feel is more interesting focus on things. So, but I bet that could be helpful. I don't know. Do you think that's something useful there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I'm not putting it down.
No.
That's all I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling.
Well, thank you for your answer. Thank you for your answers.
Sure. Take care.
Have a good one.
You too.